Hey there! Today we're going to be talking about a pen that was sent to me by my godmother in Austria. She sent me two fountain pens, and the first of those was the Pelikan Pelikano. This is an entry-level fountain pen that is geared a bit, I guess, towards people starting out the fountain pen hobby or children. And I would say this is definitely a pen geared a bit towards children, and you can see that by the general looks, the colors, etc. Nevertheless, it's a fairly nice pen. It has some things going for it, and I think it's a nice pen to start out if you're not sure whether a fountain pen is really for you. So let's cover the parts of the pen, tell you what I like about it, I'll tell you what I don't like about it, and then we'll do a writing sample. Let's start with the Finial right there. You have a little Pelikan logo. It's typical Pelikan logo, and it's very nice, I would say. You have the clip. The clip says Pelikano. As you can see, it's all plastic. I think maybe the cap. I think it's sort of metallic plastic as well. I mean metallic colored. You have this interesting clip design, and then you have the barrel of the pen, which tapers down quite significantly, as you can see there, a little groove. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you uncap the pen, you get a fairly interesting grip section, which looks something like this. It's very rubberized. You can see the feed. Part of it is clear in the section, which is quite cool. Simple medium nib. And then you have a little ink window right there, which allows you to see how much ink is left in the cartridge. It came with one of these cartridges. Looks like standard international long to me, but maybe it's a Pelikan proprietary type. I don't know. And I'm assuming that you could fit in one international short cartridge and put a second one in the barrel as a spare, but I haven't tried that. Okay, the grip, as I said, is rubberized. Gives for a decent grip, and also note that one of the grip scales actually has ribs and the other end does not. Okay, this is the size unposted, and then when you post it, it gets a bit bigger, but the pen doesn't really post super securely. At least mine doesn't. The cap is a little loose on it. I think that's pretty much all I can say about the pen, so let's talk about what I like about it, what I don't like about it. It is a small pen, light pen. I mean, it's not particularly big, and it's definitely, I would say, geared towards children, considering the grip, right? If you learn how to write with a pen, this would be very good. The nib is quite nice. What's interesting about it is that it offers a little bit of springiness. It's definitely not a flex nib, but you can get some line variation out, which you will see in the writing sample. Things I don't like about it, well, you could say it's a little bit of a childish design. I'm sure that some people would like that, this would appeal to them, but I would say it's a little bit childish. And you see it in the bright colors as well. Is it a bad pen? No. For the amount you pay, I think it's really reasonable, and also it's actually quite nice. Nice the way it's shaped, pleasant to use. Ink window, definitely, as far as I'm concerned, is a big plus because it's easy to see how much ink you have left. If you use cartridges or converters, I'm sure you can fit a Pelikan converter in there. So an interesting deal for the price, I would say. But don't expect superb writing. Writing is not particularly scratchy, nor is it super smooth. It's something in between that's okay for what you pay for it. I hope that was useful. I think we should take a few measurements. So as to weight, I have about 10 grams. It's a light plastic pen. Capped, I get 135 millimeters. Uncapped, I get 125 millimeters. That's all there's to it. I hope this was useful. Let's do a writing sample, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so here we go with the Pelikan Pelikano. The nib is labeled M, and the ink is just the cartridge that was supplied with it. That's just, I'm assuming, Pelikan Königsblau or something, blue. Okay, well, let's do a bit of writing. The quick brown Pelikan flew over the lazy dog. Writing is relatively smooth. It is not the smoothest I've ever experienced. It definitely gives you feedback, but it's not horribly scratchy. We go a bit faster. Then that feedback is definitely pronounced. You don't see a lot of skipping. You see maybe a little bit here, but I think that was caused pretty much by me. It seems to work fairly well. When it comes to wetness, of course a property of the ink as much as the nib and the paper as well, but I think it's fairly wet. When it comes to line variation, there actually is some to be had. It's a fairly forgiving steel nib, but of course be careful you don't spring it when you push down. So that's quite nice. Now what remains here is reverse writing. Which, as you can see, works fairly well and definitely gives you a finer line than the regular angle of the nib does. So that's quite cool. In all, I think this is a decent pen to start with if you're looking for pens. It definitely, I would say, is a little bit kid oriented in the way it looks, with a grip section and all. But you know, if you're starting out, you want to give it a cheaper fountain pen a shot, just to make sure you don't you don't waste a lot of money if you don't like it. I think this is a good option. So there you have it. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.